Hi, thanks for a few minutes of your time. Really interesting phase in the real estate market. We've had a strong market for 3 years. Despite high interest rates, which have been in effect for just over 12 months now, the market held together particularly well. But there are some signs right now that there is some changes that are afoot. And so it's a timely period of time in which people should consider what they're actually going to do with their property. Those sort of signs are things like 28.6% of households now are under mortgage stress, and that's rising every month. We're starting to see signs of that now because we've been called in increasingly by people who want appraisals, get an indication of what their properties are worth. The next step from that for a large proportion of those people would to list their properties for sale. And so that'll start changing that balance of supply and demand, which has held the real estate fairly strong. For a period now, we've had stronger demand for real estate than we've had the number of properties on the market. But there's just these signs that that equation is going to change. We expect higher interest rates to be with us for quite some time. Even though they might cap out, we do expect them to be with us for quite some time. There's a long way to go to get inflation back down in that 2 to 3% range. It's in the early 6% at the moment, but it'll take quite some time to get the balance down because there are a lot of ingrained factors that keep inflation higher. And so we're starting to see this shift from this really good market to one that's going to have a better balance between buyers and sellers, and that'll tend to soften the market. So that's always a bit of an indication for people thinking about selling to make a move. And the next question is, when's the best time to sell? Spring. Spring has always been a market that has been an active period over a 2 to 3 month period. We do get a good sort of selling month in January, but for an extended period, the periods of September and October and November are terrific selling times. And so with the fear that maybe there's going to be some softening real estate prices, capturing the spring period of time is the ideal opportunity for many sellers. Now, if that decision is made, they do want to sell, then there's just 3 fundamental things that sellers have to address. First is, I want to make sure that I can capture every single buyer there is. So we need to tailor a very good marketing campaign. Of course, we can present a recommendation to you on that front, but it's a critical piece to make sure you've got the maximum number of buyers. The second thing is then to decide the method of sale. And there's some clear evidence about which method is working better now than the alternative method. And we can certainly provide information in relation to that. And then the third thing is to select the best agent. And I'm sure our credentials will show that we'd be the right choice in that area. We're a real estate operation that's been going 122 years and remains Australia's strongest real estate company right across the country and into New Zealand. So many competitive advantages, over $20 million invested into technology to be able to detect buyers before they're even actually entered the marketplace, and many other as well. So more than happy to show those to you. And then of course the decision about what sort of price range you want to establish on the property, and our agent's going to assist you with that as well, giving you some indication of recent sales and so on. So a little bit to consider at this point in time. Choose wisely. If the thought has been that you might sell at some time in the next 12 or 18 months, then I'd really suggest that you advance that thinking through to now. There's enough reasons to suspect there's going to be a lot of headwind as we move through next year. Economy's slowing down, we know that right across the board. And we just don't want to see any of our sellers caught up in those headwinds when right now is a really great selling time. Reach out to our agent, Glenn, and he'd be more than happy to assist you in any shape or form. And a really good sort of round conversation is a sensible starting point. All the best for now, but don't delay.